Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Today we're going to be showcasing some battles here in the Open Great League with Azumaril. Azumaril is one of them Pokemon that kind of really fell off in recent seasons. It was the best Pokemon. I think it was literally ranked #1 at one point, but with all of the new Pokemon, all of the move updates, and now more recently you've got a lot of Ninetales and Lanterns in the meta, Azumaril has kind of fallen off a little bit, and it doesn't quite have as much play as it used to. What I've actually noticed recently is there has been a bit of a resurgence of this Pokemon. I'm starting to see this Pokemon a lot more this season than I did last season, and I think the players are kind of shifting the meta in a certain direction, definitely a lot more towards the older and more bulky Pokemon. Let me know if you guys have seen a lot more Azumaril this season. We're going to hop into the gameplay here, and before we do, I want you guys to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and today's question of the day here is, do you guys play the game with or without sound? I personally play with sound, and I noticed in this battle submission that Dundender is playing with sound. I personally prefer it for counting moves. You guys can let me know in the comments down below if you play with or without it. Hopping into these battles here, we've got an interesting team. We have a double safe swap and we have a Alolan Ninetales in the back. So we're sort of running an ABA Fairy team, which could be a little bit risky depending on what you would see out there. I think definitely Lanterns would be very difficult for this team to deal with in certain cases, so you really just have to deal with that with Double. I think even Swampert and some of the Steel types would be very awkward for this team, so we're going to hop into the battles and see how you deal with them. So you're coming Azu into Swampert. This is generally quite good. Earthquakes will do a lot of damage to the bulky bunny, but in general this is a good match. You're going to get the shield off the opponent and you're now even shields, so it really just depends what's in the back here. The opponent will fire off an Earthquake. That does so much damage, bro. And in comes Ninetales. So they're actually loaded up on energy here, and they're going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. I might have been tempted to shield that one, because it's a pretty risky bait, and now you're basically forced to throw, or forced to shield a Weather Ball. The opponent should be pretty dry here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They were just at the Weather Ball. In comes Swampert. You've got back-to-back moves, and that'll be a good game. Yeah, so you're saying, like, you know, between all of your Pokemon you can sort of deal with these like a little bit more awkward Pokemon. I'm definitely more interested to see what happens in like a Lantern matchup here for sure though. And here it is, Lantern versus Azu. You swap into Double. The opponent's staying in here for a minute, which that had to be that was definitely a mistake. I think they needed just to get out of there. Of course they want to go for the overfarm, but this thing knows payback, so like it's not that comfortable. You do live that one move, which is beautiful. You're gonna throw here straight away. We're going to throw after 1, 2, okay, so that's fine. I think you're trying just to basically outpace to another Avalanche. You could have thrown after 3 there, but you do throw after 1 here anyway, so like it doesn't really make a difference. And that's going to take out the Frostlass. Kind of crazy, like Double's a nuts Pokemon. I'm featuring Azumaril today, but I think Double's going to put in a ton of work in this video, just basically because it's so spammy, and I'm really looking forward to getting Wooloos back in the wild spawns. We haven't had it in, would it be a year ago now at this point? I think whenever I was playing the game a little bit more and starting to get back into it, I think I just missed Wooloo, so I'm hoping we do get it here quite soon. In comes Noctowl, and Noctowl's coming into a loaded Ninetales. I think it'll take about 3 Weather Balls to take out, but you should probably get off these 3, actually 2 will take it out, and you can even go for an Overfarm, yeah, so goodbye Noctowl. They don't even get to a single Scat attack right here, and that's a good game to them. In comes Lantern, and you're just outpacing here at this point. This Dazzling Gleam will put in a lot of damage, and you could maybe just like swap into Azu for the vibes, catch a Thunderbolt or a Surf on this thing, but that's going to be GG nonetheless. It is Thunderbolt, and Azu, it only does like half health to this thing as well, so that's maybe like the one nice thing about running Play Rough. Against Lantern, it's going to take 2 Thunderbolts to take you out, and 2 Play Roughs will get the Lantern pretty low. So maybe like this, you know, depending on the team, it really just depends on what sort of moveset you should go for. Azumaril into Jellicent here. I can't imagine this is a good matchup for Azumaril. We're staying in here for a minute though, and I guess we're going to go for a Play Rough. Maybe this is fine, because you probably are bulkier than this thing. We'll see how much a Shadow Ball does. There's no way they beat this. Like, you cannot beat this. That did not do that much. I'm going to fire for Play Rough, and we'll see how much damage this does. I think the opponent is going to start outpacing here though. They get to these Shadow Balls in 4 and then 3, and it's 5-4 for the Play Rough. So it's a sort of match where you do need the Play Rough. You are bulkier and you can probably eat more moves, but yeah, they probably will get another Shadow Ball in time. And again, like, I think you're even getting into Surf range at this point, so they can just go for a Surf at this point and take you out. So you don't really have like an amazing answer for Jellicent in this team, so I guess like getting it really low and soft losing and coming in for an aggressive farm down with Double could end up being the best play here. So the opponent will take you out. I doubt they're going to get to another Surf, and you should be able to come out with like a payback, even a little bit more. You're coming out with a lot of energy here, So even if they come in with Medicham, which is what I'm predicting, a Power Punch Medi, you're going to have a couple of moves for this thing. You're going straight for the payback. I feel like about 2 paybacks would roughly take this out. Yeah, so it gets it pretty low. The second payback won't quite take it out. Again, you want to throw after good timing on these, just to try and maximize energy and not allow the opponent to get extra energy. I wasn't counting the Medi, but I'm assuming this must be a Psychic if you're shielding. It is an Ice Punch, and in comes the Reggie, so it was probably Power Punch, Ice Punch here. So on the Reggie, you want to go for a Dazzling Gleam, especially in the first one. It is a little bit better to go for that. And the opponent, of course, don't have to shield anything from this, at least for the first couple of moves. They go for a Zap Cannon here, they get the debuff, which is quite annoying. At this point, you definitely go for the Dazzling Gleam, because they're definitely not shielding anything at this point. And if your switch timer is up here quite soon, you definitely swap out. So that's maybe one way you could have played this slightly better, but we'll see how it turns out anyway. You're really just trying to burn the clock here. The opponent will get off a move, and we'll see what happens. It is a Zap Cannon, which almost takes out. You swap into Double. I'm not sure would it have been better to retain the Double or retain the opponent goes for an unnecessary catch here as well, like just to really rub salt in the wound. You put a payback onto this thing. I think at that point, like maybe you would have considered baiting. In comes a Body Slam. We'll see if the opponent shields us up. They are getting pretty low, but I still don't think they're in Mother Ball range. We'll see here. This is getting close. I think if you had landed one Gleam in this thing, that might have put you in a slightly better position, and maybe like throwing after slightly better timing might have helped overall. Overall, it was a rough match, and you know, even if that match was impossible, you know, the best that you can try to do is just be disciplined with your timing and your throwing. In comes Walrein, so I would imagine this is a positive matchup for Azu. It's going to take 2 Earthquakes and probably an Icicle Spear to take this thing out, so it should be a positive one. So we'll see here, throwing after 1, 2... Okay, so you tried to throw after 2 there, but then it ended up like over-tapping. Again, like, you don't need to farm up to 100 energy, just throw after 1 there. 1, 2, so you're throwing after 2 again. CMPing on the Earthquake. You know, so you could have got an extra bubble or 2 of energy for you there. And we'll see if it makes a difference, hopefully not, but again, like, you know, it's always good to try and stay disciplined. I think you must have accidentally undercharged here, because this is going to get very close. They're going to get to an Icicle Spear. So like 100% you would have took switch if you threw on better timing, and you know, didn't like miss the bubbles. I'm assuming it was laggy or something. In comes Sableye, and of course these are resisted Shadow Claws, and you do go for an overfarm here. So the opponent actually throws in bad timing, which is great. In comes a Fell Play. You're going to throw after 1 here. This bait right here, it's personally not what I would go for, because the Sableye, they can easily live this payback. You're going to go for the payback now, and we're going to see how much damage it does. So this will get them, yeah, deep into the red here at this point. So like they know they don't have to shield it. A lot of Sableyes don't really shield, to be fair, and you're going to shield up a Foul Play at this point. Right, let's see, 1, 2, 3. The opponent gets to a move as well. This is just getting rough here, so I guess you're going to commit to a farm down and just hope there's something in the back. They have a Trevenant in the back. At this point, you're down to shield, so the opponent pretty much, like, they have no incentive not to shield. You could maybe consider swapping into Ninetales. I don't think 1 Shadow Ball takes out a Ninetales, so you might be able to get off. Like, what I would have done there is swapped into the Ninetales and the Sableye. At a certain point, you're going to catch what's probably a Seed Bomb here, so this still gives you a chance. The opponent, let's see, yeah, they've got no shields left. You will get to the Rubber Ball if they don't throw, so, you know, maybe this is working out okay. I think you will win this match, but I think just overall it could have been a lot more comfortable. And it's a good thing, well, actually they couldn't have really went for the undercharge. So GG's, it worked out in the end. I just think, like, definitely would be a lot more comfortable, and yeah, you'll double kick down the Sableye. The double kicks are doing a bit more than the Shadow Claws. So GG's there. We've got a Ninetales lead, so this has to be a very positive lead here. They have to land 2 Dazzling Gleams to get you into the deeper red. It's probably 2 Dazzling Gleams and a Weather Ball. That is the one good thing about Azu. It is very, very bulky. We haven't seen any Hydro Pumps go for it yet, so we'll see what happens there. See, the opponent's going to throw a move here. It has to be the Gleam, right? Like, if you're going to shield anything on this thing, you shield the first one, because, like, they have to go for the Gleam here. You're going to fire off a move here, another play rough, which would probably just about take out at this range. Yeah, would definitely take out, obviously. These bubbles are adding up, and you're both into the red here. The opponent's going to go for probably Dazzling Gleam. They go for Weather Ball Bait, which is just ridiculous at this point. But they do have a ton of energy, and they're most likely going to try and take switch here. Yeah, they've got Dazzling Gleam still. So, I mean, you're up a shield, you could have taken switch or taken shields. You decided to take shields, so, you know, it's just preference really on that one. You do catch a Weather Ball here, which is quite funny. I'm not sure if I would have caught that personally, because you're locked in with Ninetales. So really just depending on what they've got here. This is Stunfisk, so this is perfectly fine here. You just win the straight Weather Ball. I think it'll take 3 Weather Balls to take this thing out. So this is a good matchup if you're up shields, definitely. They will need 2 Rock Slides, you need 3 Weather Balls. So you take this very, very easily here. Yep, are you going to try and CMP? I think that was a CMP. So you're playing this matchup really nicely here. Just not allowing the opponent to get any extra farm through. And at this point, actually 2 Weather Balls and a farm down is perfect. So you're obviously going to shield up the Rock Slide, and we'll see what the opponent has in the back. It's going to be a Medicham. So this is a 50-50. Sometimes, like, the opponent's win condition is calling a bit, so we'll see if they call it here. They do call it. Can they survive a Gleam? They probably can. Or maybe not, actually. I think a Gleam would have one-shotted them. They do have to shield up something here at this point, and you're going to go for a Body Slam. This won't quite take out, but of course you want to try to get the damage through before they get off a move. With Double, it seems to be quite bulky, so I think you can live the Psychic pretty comfortably. At this point, the Medichams dumped all of their energy, so you should easily outpace to the Body Slam here, and at that point, double kick down the Stunfisk. Like, this is the thing where bad timing is okay. Like, you don't want the opponent to get to another move here. And can you double kick this thing down in time? Yes, you can, no problem at all. And you won 100 battles, congratulations. So you don't worry about timing, like, whenever it comes down to, you know, you're just about to take the Pokemon out, you don't worry about timing there. Okay, this is good. We're going to see a Hydro Pump on this thing, hopefully. 1, 2, 3. It takes them 7, 5, 6. So you actually outpaced the Hydro Pump as well. It takes them 7 Smackdowns to get to a Stone Edge. The opponent lets it go, and you don't even have to shield anything here. The opponent's over farming like crazy. I would say they're maybe tempted to dip out of here. Stone Edge and dip. No, they're staying in. Okay, this is good. Play rough probably takes out at this point. Even if it doesn't, you can eat a Stone Edge, but yeah, they were getting really low. In comes Victreebel, bro. I honestly, bro, this team, and it's going to be Power Punch Medi in the back. Yep, in comes Medicham. Very nice play there coming in with a double, by the way, because, yeah, like, that's not comfortable whatsoever for Ninetales. That was a smart play there. So what you would want to do here is try to maybe come out with energy if possible. You don't shield this Medi, bro. This is Power Punch, Ice Punch. So this is giving the opponent a chance here, unfortunately. You just try to get their shields, and then if they take you out, you go for Farm Down with double and just go for a payback or something. But you're super spammy, and, you know, if you can come out of here with a move, that would be perfect. The opponent, yeah, they're going to let everything go at this point, and basically go for Farm Down with Victreebel. So I would probably even consider, like, not attacking here. 1, 2, 3, not quite. The opponent still has a shield. So this is still doable, I think. This thing is so glassy that, you know, they have to shield everything. This is probably going to be an Acid Spray just to try and farm you down. But this team, it's a Leaf Blade, wow, that's done a lot. 1, 2, you just about get to it. Does this take out the Victreebel though? I'm not sure if it will or not, to be honest. Oh, it does take them out. GG's, bro, GG's. That was a 1 health win, bro. Anytime I see you taking out a Bastiodon, like, you're automatically, like, I'm liking my own video right now. Talonflame lead here. You throw after free here, if possible, into their 2 moves. They go straight for the bird, and at this point they come into Lantern. You want to, like, honestly, like, just get straight out of here if I were you, but you can go for a chip here just to make sure you take switch, because you don't really have, like, a super comfortable matchup. Bro, you're staying in here way too long on this one, like, way too long. I don't mind going for 1 play rough, but, like, eating a Thunderbolt in that thing, I'm not with that at all, because Talonflame, like, if that ends up on your Ninetales at some point, like if they Brave Bird your Azumaril or something, it's going to be a little bit more awkward. I like going for an overfarm here. You're probably going to try and go for a payback on the Talonflame when it comes back in, because they'll let this go. And 1, 2... Was that? Yeah, that was after free, so that was good timing there. Again, you just, especially with Talonflame, like, you have to be good timing. On this one, again, so, like, with Incinerate, right? As soon as they launch the second Incinerate, like, it's impossible for them to throw. So you always just throw free. You swap out nice 1, 2. So this is going to be a Rock Slide. I think you just about live this here. Do you just about live it? You do. Can you get to the pump? You do get to the pump. This will almost, if not fully one-shot this Galarian Stunfisk. Yeah, it just almost one-shots them. Can you even bubble it? You even bubble it down. So yeah, you've just basically won this match at this point. You just shield up anything at this stage. You've actually got to move on your double as well. So like, yeah, GG's. GG's. So it was getting a little bit awkward there. But yeah, you know, with Talonflames, like I said, if you're throwing 2, that's 6 turns, and each of their incinerates are 5 turns. So like if you're throwing 2, like you might as well throw 3. There's no way that they can, unless you're on like 1 HP or something, and you don't want to let the incinerate damage go through, because the incinerate damage will go through before the full 10 turns. So that's a consideration. Like if you can only live 2 incinerates or something like that, and you don't want the second damage to go through, that's when you would throw after 6 turns or whatever. But you know, if you're just throwing moves into it, you just throw after good timing there. There's no way they can CMP you, no way they can swap out. It's just perfectly safe to do that. Again, we have another lantern. We'll see how we deal with this. Of course, it's going to be awkward. You land the payback, which is quite nice, and they're in body slam range. The opponent's not throwing here. I think the opponent had a move at this point, so they might be forced to shield up here. They are forced to shield, and you're even going to get to another move if they let you, so they're going to surf you out of here at this point. They're going to have a little bit of residual energy. I'm going to try and count this here. You can come in for a farm down probably with Ninetales or Azu. Azu might be more comfortable because it's got, you know, a lot more bulk basically, and the opponent will basically be forced to go for Thunderbolt. But then the energy on Ninetales is more valuable, but it's getting to the point here where they're throwing 2 moves. So nice call there on the Thunderbolt, and they're going to go for the back-to-back surfs. We'll see what the opponent comes in with. They come in with Galarian Stunfisk. Again, as we've seen before, 2 Weather Balls gets us pretty deep. So that's the first one going through, going straight for the second one here. And if you can catch a Rock Slide on Azu, you would hope that you're in a pretty good spot at this point. Yep, nice little catch here on the Azu. Like this play a lot, and we'll see what the opponent does here. They fire off the Rock Slide, it tickles you, in comes Trevenant, and you're going to try to get to a play rough, but it might be a little bit difficult to do so. It takes a minute to get to those play roughs. That's where Ice Beam is a little bit better, because you would have got to it just there. So like the movesets on Azu, it's definitely a consideration depending on what sort of team you have. You're going to get to this Weather Ball and overfarm by 1 here, which is beautiful. Overfarming by 1 will just guarantee that you can outpace 1, 2, 3. The opponent threw you like straight on 5, so you would have outpaced and 1 CMP no matter what. So that's a GG nonetheless, and good games. Thank you very much for the battle submissions. I think overall GG's and well played. I just think if you like slightly optimized your move timing, you would win a few more matches here and there. And of course, any win or 2 here or there is always appreciated. I know if I can like optimize a few of my mistakes and win an extra match or 2, it's going to make the difference between winning like 12 or 13 matches per day to 15, 16, 17. And then whenever you start winning those matches, you know, that's what really climbs ELO. So, you know, just a couple of little things there, but overall GG's, and I enjoyed watching the Azumaril and double gameplay. Thank you very much for submitting the battles. If you guys want to submit your own, link in the description down below and join the Discord. We're also doing a subscriber tournament here versus Jamie Finn quite soon, so join up the Discord for that. And apart from that, everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys next time.